Braven has been making some of my favorite products ever since Bluetooth speakers became a thing. And now they're back with what I think is their cleverest invention yet. This is the Braven BRV Pro, and I guess you could say it's kind of like the GoPro of Bluetooth speakers. It's rough and rugged, it can take a beating, it's waterproof, but it's got a few other tricks up its sleeve that I think is going to redefine what you expect out of an outdoor speaker. If you know Braven speakers, then you might be thinking that looks a lot like the BRV1, and it is. It's a lot like that with a lot of extra rubber padding on all the sides so that it's a little bit more impact resistant, and rather than being just water resistant, this is actually waterproof. Back here you'll notice that instead of a screw cap, what we have here is a little latch so that none of these connections inside are ever going to get wet, and that's good because this speaker can sit in water up to 3 feet of depth for up to 30 minutes and be no worse to wear. So it's got about a 15-hour battery life. It'll charge your phone. There's an aux input. You know, you kind of expect those things. Here's where the speaker gets different though. Underneath this little plate is a little connection panel and 4 different screws. That allows you to secure any number of different accessories that are available for this speaker. You can get a solar panel to charge this thing up. You can get an external battery pack which will up the playtime to almost 40 hours. There's a stacking plate so you can actually connect 2 together and double the output. And then there's also a special mounting plate which will make it compatible with any GoPro style action mount. That's got to be the most utility I've ever seen packed into a Bluetooth speaker. So I can't help but bring in the UE roll here because we're talking about 2 waterproof speakers, both impact resistant. The Braven's a little bit heavier, but then again, it can do a whole lot more. The UE is probably going to get a little bit louder, if you can believe that, but I think it's probably going to have a little less bass. Speaking of which, let's see how these two sound compared to each other. So as you can hear, the Braven has bigger bass, and honestly that's because it's a bigger speaker. It's also a little bit heavier, but what you trade off in terms of portability, you gain in terms of utility. Honestly, I'm gonna have to say at 150 bucks, this has gotta be the Swiss Army knife of Bluetooth speakers.